Om Swami Ji.
Hari Om Sai.
Thank you so much for coming on Positive Talks. I really want to know about Chinmaya Mission.
Chinmaya Mission is a global spiritual organization founded on the principles of Advaita Vedanta. Swami Swatmananda Ji always said, individual transformation alone leads to world transformation. Our culture very clearly says that Uttishtata Jagrata Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Arise, awake, go to the teachers and learn.
When it comes to some other believer or other community people, they accuses Sanatan Dharma, telling that there are so many forms who you have to focus on.
There are certain forms which the Sanatan Dharma specifically says, and those are 5 main forms. All other forms will come below this. So Shiva,
हेलो गाइस एंड वेलकम टू द अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ पॉजिटिव टॉक्स। और इस एपिसोड में हम बात करने वाले हैं अबाउट सनातन धर्मा, स्पिरिचुअल लर्निंग्स एंड हाउ वी गोना कनेक्ट यूथ विद ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग्स। एंड फॉर दिस वी हैव अ वेरी वेरी वेल नोन स्पिरिचुअल टीचर स्वामी स्वात्मानंद जी, जो चिन्मय मिशन के साथ बहुत सालों से जुड़े हुए हैं। उनको इन सारी चीज़ों की नॉलेज है। सो वी आर गोना डीप डाइव इनटू दिस। सो कीप वॉचिंग दिस पॉडकास्ट टिल द एंड. You will definitely get a lot of knowledge. This video is sponsored by Sukoon Design Studios. Sukoon Design Studios is an interior designing firm to transform your place into sukoon and comfort. With their beautiful design and excellent execution, they bring your dream space to life, ensuring that every corner is filled with sukoon and happiness. And if you're looking to transform your home, then check the details in the description and fill in your information to get the free first time consultation. And now, let's begin the positive talks. Hari Om Swami Ji.
Hari Om Sai.
Thank you so much for coming on Positive Talks. It is a very big pleasure for me that for the first time I am having a spiritual teacher on my podcast. And the purpose of starting Positive Talks 1 year back was to give youth a vision, to make them understand that what is struggle, I would say, hard work, I would say, and now also spirituality, because that is also a very, very important factor in my life. And I really want to bring that side to youth as well. And the best person is in front of me. So I really want you to guide them. So I want that we should start with your spiritual journey, when it started, how it came into your life.
So thank you, Sahil, for this wonderful opportunity.
So much
for inviting me to Positive Talks, and I'm very glad that I'm here and we are having this conversation on spirituality, especially for the youth. Because this is a land which has produced young spiritual masters, and unfortunately somewhere people think that spirituality is now to be practiced at the end of one's life, but actually it is that which will prepare me to face life now, here and now.
Okay.
So my spiritual journey has started, I would say, right from childhood. I am born in a spiritual family. My grandfather was one of the founder members of Chinmaya Mission itself, and very close to Puja Gurudev Swami Swatmananda Ji. And the samskar has been there in my life from childhood, following various pujas, rituals. Even at a young age, I was doing pujas and guiding, and I was exposed to the study of Vedanta formally during my college years. Otherwise, in Balvihar, I have grown listening to stories, learning chanting, prayers, Gita chanting, etc. But when I came into Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, that's the youth wing of Chinmaya Mission, I was also in my first year of college, and that's when I started exploring Vedanta.
Yeah.
I started attending talks on Vedanta. I've been attending from childhood also Swami Swatmananda Ji's talks, and my grandfather used to take me and some other Swamis of the mission also, but did not understand Vedanta as a philosophy. That time was interested more in the stories and connecting to various other things done in the talks. But as a philosophy of Vedanta, in my first year of college, when I was doing my commerce and computer programming, so there I got exposed to Vedanta, and by the end of my first year college, I decided that all my other plans I put aside. I wanted to do MS in US, etc. And I put aside all that, and I said I want to study Vedanta properly, because we have a 2-year Vedanta course at Powai in Mumbai. And I decided I want to study. Okay. Because one is philosophy of Vedanta is something that talks about me, who I am truly. not only as an individual, but as the truth, as consciousness.
Okay.
And that interested me a lot. And second, I saw the life of Swami Chinmaya Ji, how from an agnostic he transformed, who went to who went to expose the sadhus, because he was a journalist and he wanted to, in his words, he used to say that I want to expose the bluff of the sadhus.
Okay.
He considered them as social parasites and a leech upon the society. And as a journalist, he went to Divine Life Society to expose the bluff of the sadhus. And the life of Swami Shivanand Ji transformed him, the service that he did, the knowledge that he gave.
Okay.
And slowly he studied Vedant under Swami Tapovan Maharaj, and finally he committed to becoming a saint himself. He took sannyas and then founded the whole organization.
Okay.
So the whole journey of Swamiji, and I've seen him working almost 20 hours a day, and
Okay.
last few years of his life he was having only 16% of his heart working, but still he was working 20 hours. So I saw what the power of Vedanta is in a living master.
Okay.
That somebody, when he says I am not the body, mind, intellect, I am infinite consciousness, is anchored in that and he lives that.
Okay.
And entire organization is founded, 300 centers, 25 countries, 100 plus schools, so many orphanages, rural development programs, all that inspired by one person, formed so many teams, wants to revive Sanatan Dharma. So I saw absolute selflessness and compassion.
Okay.
Then I said, this is what I want to do in my life. And so I studied Vedanta 2 years at Powai.
So Swamiji, the big problem today in youth is now the youth who is a very believer of Sanatan Dharma, but the situations around him is somewhere against. Like if you see in Mumbai itself, the society is very cool, and to become cool and all that stuff, youth who is believer as well, he doesn't want to showcase or doesn't want to tell very strongly. So in such situation, it's arrived in your young age कि आपके time पे भी ऐसा कुछ था.
See, that happens in every age, right?
Yeah.
When we are young, there is a certain extrovertedness and there is partying, films, music, bunking the college, hanging out with friends, and not to show I'm very spiritual, all that, and to show that, to say that I'm an atheist, I don't believe in all this is superstition. That happens in every age.
Yeah.
Less or more, intensity can change. So it was always there even during our youth. But the point is that we also need to know that I need something to anchor my life. My life is governed by my value system, and my value system, if it is anchored in spiritual knowledge and the higher aspects of life that helps us to manifest our potential, then no matter what circumstances are around, we are able to operate from that inner strength. And that's what spirituality actually helps us in.
Okay.
And once a person is anchored that way, it is not that the person doesn't enjoy. So even the friends around, some friends may leave and go if they don't vibe with us, but there will be others who will come. And so one finds the right company also after that.
Yeah.
And when one goes to spiritual organizations, so I found in Chinmaya Kendra so many like-minded youngsters who are there.
So,
Plus my college group, with them also I used to hang out. My group at programming at NIIT. So there are different types of people we meet, and this spirituality integrates everything beautifully.
I guess that is where spirituality and spirituality brings patience, and I feel that patience is somewhere right people take time to come and connect with you, but it comes at certain point. So I really want to know about Chinmaya mission. What is the purpose? What is the vision? And I really want to know in detail कि वो क्या है.
So Chinmaya Mission is a global spiritual organization founded on the principles of Advaita Vedanta, where we share the knowledge of the Upanishads, which is the essence of the Vedic knowledge, which says that all of us are essentially divine. Our nature is infinite happiness. What we are seeking out is actually already our true self, just that we don't know it. That ignorance of our true nature is what makes us feel I am this individual and I am limited, I am finite. So I need happiness from these things, those people, these places, that position, this power. And so one is in a chase. that knowledge which helps me to understand that this may be one aspect of life, but happiness doesn't come from any of these what permanent happiness we see. It is ourself, true nature. So we share this knowledge which makes a person live life with clarity, courage, confidence. And the motto of Chinmaya Mission is maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time.
Oh, wow.
And that happens through knowledge.
Yes.
When we give this knowledge and to all age groups, right from our youngest age group is called Shishu Vihar, and that is from 6 months onwards.
Okay.
And now we have started something called Garbha Samskar also, where pregnant women will also learn about how they can handle this period of pregnancy and what kind of spiritual sadhanas they can do. And so from Garbha Samskar onwards, then Shishu Vihar, Bal Vihar, Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, Chinmaya Setukari for the young adults, then the study group, Devi group for the elders, Vanaprastha for senior citizens, and those who want to take a full-time sannyas, sannyas. So it caters to all age groups, the entire range of human beings, as well as there are many opportunities to serve, because when we get this knowledge, we also understand that to gain knowledge is one thing, but heart has to be purified. There is selfishness, greed, anger, passion, all that. Impurities are there. Wandering of the mind is there. Ignorance is there. So Chinmaya Mission also is a platform to serve, where we serve selflessly, where we identify with a cause. It may be revival of Sanatan Dharma, it may be empowering the youth, it may be rural development, it can be taking care of the orphans, it can be education, any cause, whichever you resonate with, one can serve selflessly, wanting nothing for oneself, working together for a common cause. In that we purify the mind. And so Chinmaya Mission gives that opportunity to integrate the knowledge, the feeling and the acting. So head, heart and hands all can come together, and through this each individual evolves. And Swami Chinmaya Ji always said, individual transformation alone leads to world transformation. Each individual is a unit of this world. If each individual changes, transforms, only then the whole world can transform. World transformation cannot happen through some massive revolution. Suddenly one day everybody will change. It will not happen. And so Chinmaya Mission works with this vision, and so we provide Vedanta to individuals from any background.
This Chinmaya Mission now, in how many countries it is working out, and what response you see right now in this?
Chinmaya Mission as of now is in 25 countries.
25 countries.
And we share the knowledge of Advait Vedanta, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. If today it is very, very popular, one of the greatest contributions for that is Swami Swatmananda Ji. He was the first one to speak on it in English and make it applicable to people of all walks of life. So he would go and address in the colleges, in the corporates, to the homemakers, to the professionals, to army people, to everybody. Brought the knowledge of the Gita, made it applicable ki this is how you can apply it in your life. Then Tulsi Ramayana, Bhagavatam, various other scriptures. So because the variety is also a lot, even the regional works, like whether in Tamil or Marathi or Hindi, whichever, any other language, the reach of Chinmaya Mission is continuously expanding. And though Gurudev started with English, but many courses, many programs, he trained people who would take it up in various other languages. So the response has been very good, and there are different avenues. So it's not only through talks, there are structured courses where people can learn Foundation Vedanta course, Advanced Vedanta course, Bhagavad Gita course, Upanishad course. These are 4 levels of courses. And so we have people apart from the 25 countries where we have centers, from across the world, different places where we don't even have centers, people are, because of internet today, we are able to reach courses, and people are doing all these courses from Czechoslovakia or, whatever, so many other places where we don't have any other presence.
So now, because of, I think, online, it might be very easy, or I can say more and more you might be reaching to the people, right? So now I want to understand ki Sanatan Dharma and youth, because today I feel like how you people are connecting youth very strongly, because I think if I talk about my country, our country, Bharat, Bharat is the youngest country, and coming 20 years is it has been said that it is Bharat's time. So how we can drive them with a good vision to take their country ahead? But I think that starts with the spirituality inside them. As you said, Kim, it is not going to happen like a revolution or something. It is once you start changing yourself from inside, then you can do. Then how you can help them to start that?
So, spiritual journey starts when we want to know who we are with simple things like introspection.
Hmm.
Gurudev used to say, give 4 steps: introspect, detect, negate, substitute.
Okay.
Every day, if I spend just 15 minutes to introspect what was my day, how did it go, what were my attitudes. So I detect what was my attitude today, where all it was positive, where was it negative. And where I find positive, I appreciate myself, love myself, encourage myself. Where it is negative, I identify and accept, this is a negative thing, and I negate it, saying, this is not right. I should change this.
Okay.
Substitute wisely. So that way we start with introspection, and then it starts when ideally we should seek out, if somebody is clear about their path, okay, this is the path I want to follow of Advaita or of Bhakti or of Seva, then that is, in that path, find a suitable teacher.
Okay.
And learn from them.
Okay.
Because our culture very clearly says that Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata. Arise, awake, go to the teachers and learn. This is Kathopanishad. Generally, people would say, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. That's what Vivekananda Ji made it very popular. But otherwise, the mantra says, arise, awake, go to the teachers and learn. Because this cannot happen only through books.
Okay.
I have to find a teacher. And I have to practice sadhanas. So study, sadhana,
Okay.
seva and sanyam. These are 4 things that youth can start with. And for this, guidance is required. Certain things one can do on one's own to start off the journey. If one is not having anybody, one can explore and start. Sometimes it also happens that we need to explore some 4-5 organizations and people, etc., to find where I belong. That also has to be done. I also did that, though I was born in a Chinmaya family in that sense. But I still tried various organizations, went, understood what is what, and found my place.
Okay.
So one has to explore. But these 4 are important. Study the scriptures, do some sadhana to quieten the mind, daily, even 5-10 minutes. Live in a certain level of sanyam, self-control, which doesn't mean suppression, but living with healthy boundaries, which will be good for my enjoyment, which doesn't hurt and harm me, and do selfless service.
Okay. So to start this, what sadhanas you can tell if you want to start something? So what are the basic sadhanas any young person should start with?
Simplest sadhana one can start with is 5 minutes in a day. Start with focusing on your incoming breath, outgoing breath.
Okay.
Because breath and mind are very clearly connected. And so if I focus on the incoming, outgoing breath, body will also relax, mind will also become quiet.
Okay.
As I study more and I develop clarity about who I am, what is this world, who is the creator, then I need to connect to the creator.
Okay.
So introspection is one thing that I already mentioned, that can be done. Breath observation can be done. Then when I find some teacher, I study some books, I learn to reflect and I become clear about the understanding of the totality. Then use a form, choose which is my form which I love the most.
Okay.
Some people will resonate with form, some people will resonate with sound. So there is sound upasana also, which is Omkar upasana. Omkar doesn't have a form, Omkar is only a sound upasana.
Okay.
And some may resonate with absolute formless also. So depending on your temperament, choose either a form or a sound or the formless.
Okay.
And use that mantra to do meditation. Or even do japa.
Okay.
Repeat.
Okay.
Japa will make the mind single pointed. Okay. The simplest way by which Sanatan Dharma used to introduce this to the children actually, by around 8 years, one will get initiated into Gayatri Mantra. So a priest or a teacher or the father will initiate the student
Right.
into Gayatri Mantra, start doing the japa of Gayatri Mantra, where you may not even need to connect to any other form, Ishtadevata yet if you don't know. Sun is a visible symbol of life, of knowledge, of the entire illumination in the creation.
Okay.
So worship the sun,
Okay. Great.
Surya Devata. So start off with Gayatri Mantra.
Okay. You can suggest some mantras or along with the Gayatri mantra, any other very strong mantras which if someone is in a lot of depression, or I guess I will say, I think that is very normal in today's generation. They are, for no reason, that word has been hyped, depression. But to come out of such surroundings or situations they are into, what, along with the Gayatri mantra, as in teenagers should do it?
So here there's a little bit of a difference of opinion in the sense that
Okay.
What spirituality would say is, if somebody is into depression,
Okay.
and even psychology corroborates it, and I have spoken to many psychologists and even psychiatrists, they very clearly say that Swamiji, those who are in depression should not do mantra japa or meditation.
Acha.
They should become dynamic. They should identify a cause which will help them, where if they should identify their interests, they should have a company of people who will make them dynamic. Because in depression, the thoughts which are going in their mind are negative thought patterns that needs to be broken. And when the mind is doing japa, very soon the mind, when it is not having the right attitude, will not be able to focus on japa. Again, those repetitive thoughts of negativities will keep coming. So the person will get more frustrated. Wow. So spiritual knowledge would say that do japa only after coming to a state of positivity. Okay. In positive state, yes, mind wanders, it is easier to control. Even there, people do get frustrated. But imagine I'm already in depression and then I feel that, this mantra is not working for me, and now spiritual life also I can't do. Now I don't know, there's no hope for me, and people can get into different zones after that. So no specific mantra I would say for that situation for teenagers. But if one wants to do japa, if one is in a healthy state of mind, positive state of mind, then what one should do? See, there are different mantras for different things. But what Sanatan Hindu Dharma says is you identify who is your favorite form. Favorite form, okay. As I said, form or sound or formless, whichever you identify. Then most of them will need a form. Okay. So identify. Because infinite consciousness is one. And we call that Brahman, we call that same Brahman as Bhagavan, who manifests in various forms. Whatever I need, I can get from Bhagavan. So it is not that I have to do Lakshmi mantra to get wealth, Mrityunjay mantra to get health, Shani mantra to get out of some Shani problem, Hanumanji's mantra for getting some physical strength. If you see even in Hanuman Chalisa, Tulsidaji says, Aura Devata Chittana Dhare, Hanumati says, Sarva Sukha Kare. Any Bhagavad Puran, if you say, they will say Vishnu Bhagavan is the supreme. Shiv Puran, if you say, they say Shivji is the supreme. So you identify which form resonates with you. Choose the mantra of that form and say, understand that you are tuning up with the infinite source of the creation. Okay. Whatever you need will come from there. Okay. So Gayatri mantra and Ishta mantra, that's what Sanatan Dharma says. One should ideally follow these two only.
I think, sir, such a great answer it was. Ki every time we listen is like someone tells something to do, or some mantra, japa, or to bring your mind into control. All these words we have heard, but you have given a way which I feel I am doing it, because whenever there is a sad or a bad situation going around me, I keep on focusing on my work, whatever I do. I think that gives me more clarity. Correct. And keeps that negative thoughts aside. Correct. So that is the best thing you said me, and that was a great answer, sir. So when you're saying the creature and there are a lot of, we have to find the forms. So in our Sanatan Dharma, there are a lot of gods and forms, and when it comes to some other believer or other community people, they accuses Sanatan Dharma, telling that there are so many forms who you have to focus on or whatever, and they try to demean us. from that. So how we can tell them ki yaar, that is one infinite, but we definitely have a lot of forms. So what exactly it is giving us an idea about?
See, very simple way to answer. There are very different ways to answer this, but very simple way to answer is, you have one form, but do you have one role or many roles?
There are many roles, of course.
You play so many roles. Na? You may be a brother, you may be a son, you may be a professional, you may be this podcaster, you may be so many. Can you say which one should I connect to? Will your friend have a conflict? कि तुम्हारे इतने सारे रोल है भाई, कितने क्यों इतने सारे रोल है, कोई एक रोल पकड़ के रखो बस. No, your friend will connect to you through one form. Your father will connect through one role. Your sister may connect one role. But you are one only, no? Imagine you and I as individuals, we are one having many roles. That which is infinite, can it be limited to one? Then what is infinite then? If infinity has to be limited to one, it's not infinity anymore. No? Now, ek hi form. How can infinity be limited? Infinity is infinite. So infinity will appear in infinite forms. And which is why there are infinite forms in the creation of each of the beings. And if we see human beings, is there one type of temperament or innumerable temperaments?
Innumerable, of course.
So how can we force somebody to say this is only one form, that you should like one form?
Right.
I may choose a form which is dearest to me, as per my temperament. Swami Chinmaya Ji always used to say that Hindus are not idol worshippers, they are worshippers who are worshipping the ideals behind the idol.
Okay.
So the infinite truth appears in different forms, depicting different value systems.
Okay.
So if somebody is very attracted by Krishna's life and the way in which he lived, and they want to worship the infinite through Krishna, they can choose that. Somebody likes Devi, who destroys the evil, then they worship through Devi. Somebody like Shiva, who is peaceful meditation, they worship through. Now, if I say, no, everybody should like one form only. Now, suppose I don't connect with Shiva. Suppose, I'm just saying, not to demean any form, but I'm just saying, suppose somebody says, what kind of a form this is? He's having a fountain on his head, he's having snake on his neck, and he's applying ash all over the body, very unclean, and he doesn't take bath, a long jata he's having. I don't resonate with this form. If I don't have any other form, what will happen?
Yeah.
I'm stuck. Can love be forced?
No.
We can't force love upon anybody. Love and freedom go together. Now I have freedom. Sanatan Dharma says you have freedom to choose whichever form you like. There are certain forms which the Sanatan Dharma specifically says. And those are 5 main forms.
Okay.
All other forms will come below this.
Okay.
So Shiva, Vishnu, Devi, Ganesh and Surya.
Okay.
This is called Panchadeva Upasana.
Okay.
All other forms will come below this only.
Okay.
So choose whichever resonates with you. And this variety is the glory and beauty.
Beauty, so true.
Is the whole creation not having so much diversity?
Right.
Even in our own daily life, we have so many different types of food we eat, clothes we wear, so many different things we do, no?
I think that is the true, I would say, democracy as well.
Exactly.
We have a choice that what we want and what we are connecting with.
True.
So, so for us, like we know that there are 3 main gods, which is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. So I want to know more reality about all these supreme gods. But where Brahmaji, about Brahmaji, there is very less temples, I would say. People don't that much pray to Brahmaji, but he was the person who had created, I feel, what I have heard. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. He had written for every person's story. This is what we have been hearing. So what exactly Brahmaji is for the Sanatan Dharma and the Hindu people?
So Brahmaji is one of the Trinity, as you said. The creator is Brahmaji, sustainer is Vishnu Bhagwan, and the destroyer is Shiva.
Shiva Bhagwan.
So, a role they play, they are one truth appearing as 3. They are not 3 different truths. Same truth appearing in 3 roles, having 3 different names.
Okay.
Now, Brahmaji was worshipped in the Sanatan Dharma in a very major way earlier. But there is a story that comes in Puranas, and Shiv Purana also it comes, various other Puranas it comes, Devi Bhagavatam, many places. That one day there was a debate between Brahmaji and Vishnu Bhagwan that who is the greater one.
Okay.
And as they were having that debate, suddenly there was a column of light which manifested.
Okay.
And that column of light mentioned there was a sound, and the column of light said that whoever finds the top or the bottom will be the greatest. So Brahmaji takes the form of a swan and he flies up, and Vishnu Bhagwan takes the form of a boar and he goes down.
Okay.
And they both are trying to find the pinnacle or the base.
Okay.
Vishnu Bhagwan goes down, 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 and he finds that this is an infinite column of light. There is no end to it. So he comes back and he understands that there is no end to this. Brahmaji, in the meanwhile, when he's flying up, there's a ketki flower that falls.
Okay.
He catches the ketki flower and he comes back and he says, I found this at the top.
Okay.
And Vishnu Bhagwan says, no, I can't believe. How did you find it? So you ask the ketki flower. So ketki flower says, yes, I was on the top. Because Brahmaji and they both are hand in glove. Then the flame which has manifested is actually Shiva.
Okay.
So Shivji says that Brahmaji, you acted with adharma. You told lies. And you also made ketki flower tell lies. And you are the creator. What you do affects the whole creation. If the creator sets a bad example following adharma, then the creatures also will follow the same.
Okay.
And so as a result of that, Bhagwan Shiva cuts one head of Brahmaji.
Okay.
So that's why Brahmaji loses one head, and in Shivji's worship, ketki flower is not used. And he says that you will not be worshipped anymore till the end of this kalpa.
Okay.
Then again it will come back to the worship.
Achha.
So this right now it's a period which is a cycle going on. In that Brahmaji's temples are not as prevalent. He still worships Pushkar. The main temple is at Pushkar.
Yeah.
And there are a few other temples where he is worshipped, no doubt, but not as majorly as Shivji or Vishnu Bhagwan. So the idea here is that even if it is the creator, see, the story is not to say that Brahmaji is, lesser and he is corrupt and, how can he be Brahmaji? We should not take it in that sense. The story is to say that in Sanatan Dharma, law of karma applies
on everyone,
on all, and they are setting an example. See, they are Trinity, they are beyond all, but they will do these leelas. So Brahmaji himself is setting that example to everyone, saying, don't indulge in adharma, be truthful, be honest, be straightforward.
So true.
Greatness comes from honesty. Right. Greatness comes from integrity. Greatness comes from ensuring that we follow values.
Right.
Don't take shortcuts, don't tell lies, don't cheat, don't do corruption.
Yeah. So Swamiji, now we'll come to Bhagwan Vishnu. Bhagwan Vishnu has around 10 avatars. And I think every person is like talking about every avatar or every story of Vishnu Bhagwan is somewhere mythology. And I think I don't think it is a mythology. I feel like it is a real story because it is giving a value addition. Every avatar is giving some or the other value addition in my life. So how you can tell them that this is not a mythology, it's a real thing, fact, Sanatan story, or I would say life journey. So just let us know now, what is that Vishnu's people are talking about mythology?
Give me that.
Achha, you want this? Yeah.
So Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto actually lists down 24 avatars of Bhagavan Vishnu.
24 avatars?
Yes.
Okay.
And these are only main avatars. Avatars of Bhagavan are innumerable actually.
Innumerable.
We have to understand that 10 may have been put in a certain sequence. Bhagavatam doesn't say this is the sequence. They have been put in a sequence for ease of remembrance, understanding and evolution, etc. First and foremost, what we have to know is what is the purpose of avatars.
Okay.
Avatar literally means to come down. Avatarati means to come down. So that infinite state of consciousness, which is our true self, but you and I can't experience right now. That is called our Swarupa. That Swarupa we don't know. We only know this equipment. We have mistaken the equipment to be the reality or the Swarup. So Bhagwan manifests in specific forms. So we say Bhagwan ka avatar hota hai jeev ke uddhar ke liye.
Okay.
The descent of the supreme truth happens for the ascent of man.
Okay.
To realize that my true nature is one with the divine. And this will happen in different levels of creation.
Okay.
So we should understand that earth is only one realm of consciousness. The entire creation is not limited to only earth. Vedanta goes to different levels and dimensions, which today science also speaks about.
Speaks about it.
When they speak about multiverse, when they speak about different states of consciousness, quantum physics will speak about consciousness is the basis of the whole creation, not matter. So they are slowly coming to that.
Okay.
For a mind which is in search of truth, Puranas are a very vast canvas to understand infinity. We are not trying to understand one subject in creation, like physics or chemistry or biology. We are not trying to understand one aspect of creation, which is space or which is time. We are trying to understand the very source of creation, from where everything manifests.
Okay.
And Vedanta is saying that you are one with that source. So that inquiry requires a different mindset. It can't happen that, whatever is scientific alone can be used as a proof of that. And if something is not provable by science, then it does not exist.
Okay.
Because science speaks only about external environment, external world, and the cause of it, etc., which has its own relevance and importance.
Yeah.
But Vedanta speaks about subjective experience of the truth.
Okay.
And hence there are realms of consciousness. Like we say that waking state is this state right now we are in. But is this the only state? No. We go through dream state. We go through deep sleep state. And that's not a physical state. Can somebody tell me where is the dream physically? Is it 1 inch above my head? It is not. One can't point out a physical location. One may say it is happening in the brain and one can measure some waves. Beyond that, one can't say anything more because gross level is only that much.
Right.
I have to lift myself to the higher levels.
Okay.
Which we say in Vedanta is from Sthula to Sukshma to Karan and beyond. And hence the Puranic literature is talking about different dimensions of consciousness, so we say earth is only one realm of consciousness. Bhuloka. Then Bhuvarloka is the interspace.
Okay.
Suvarloka is the higher world. Then Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Like that, 7 worlds higher, 7 worlds lower.
Okay.
These are in the level of evolution. The subtler the mind is, the higher the mind goes and deeper the thoughts are. The grosser the mind is and more adharmic, then the lower the mind will go. So this is in terms of mind's evolution. Now if I understand this background well, human being is on the earth. And it is not that all avatars have happened only on the earth.
Okay.
Many avatars have happened in different realms of consciousness. And how is it proved? There are so many spiritual processes which can be done to experience these.
Okay.
Just like, physical experiments are done in science to explain physical realities and laws and various, whatever you call thermodynamics, electricity and this and that, vibrations and magnetism and so many things.
Scientific evolutions which had it came by experimenting, right?
By through experimentation at the physical realm. So there are spiritual processes, psychic processes, where these rishis, munis, they have experienced the various visions, forms, all that.
Okay.
And so 24 avatars are mentioned in Bhagavatam, where some have happened on earth, some have happened in different realms. So I'm just going to list a few of them. Like the first manifestation is Bhagavan manifests as Sanat Kumars. They are 4 sons of Brahmaji who are always 5 years old.
Okay.
And who are absolutely rooted in knowledge, wisdom and vairagya. And they give knowledge to so many beings in this creation. Second avatar, and so they are able to travel across creation anywhere,
Okay.
in the sky, in the Swargaloka, on the earth. So that is one manifestation. Second one, where he manifests as the Varaha avatar. Now in Dashavatar, we think of, first is Matsya, then Kurma, then comes Varaha.
Varaha, yeah.
Here, it is the second avatar
Second
in
avatar.
Bhagavatam. And he manifests this in the listing, it is. It's not in the sequence, but it's in the listing.
Okay.
So he manifests as a boar.
Hmm.
And now people make fun of the spiritual literature. They say ki earth is 70% of water, and you say that earth is drowned in water. How can earth drown in ocean when earth itself is having ocean? This is all mythology. That word mythology has been deliberately inserted to make us feel that our scriptures are all only fiction stories, it's not real. But this is not mythology. Purana speaks at different levels. Certain things are symbolic, certain things are mystic, certain things are psychic, certain things are future possibilities. Bhavishya also it will speak about.
Yeah.
Certain things are Vedantic, certain things are sadhana oriented. So earth has fallen to Rasatala. Is the earth's level, suppose it is here, we are talking now about consciousness level now. Earth also is at one gross level of consciousness. The third level below, Atal, Vital, Sutal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Talatal, Patal. 7 levels are there. The fourth level earth has fallen to, meaning the adharma has increased so much that in the minds of people, the level of evolution is such that the earth has literally drowned, as though, in the fourth level of consciousness. And now Varaha uplifts. Now there are symbolisms in this.
Okay.
If one thinks that there is some actual boar physically, and that boar has taken this earth out from the water, then one says this is madness. But if one understands the symbolic meaning behind that, and there's a lot of depth if one goes into the deeper aspects, Earth, what is the main quality of earth? Is the smell.
Smell, okay.
The quality of smell. So when there is about to rain, we feel the smell, right?
Yeah.
And when it rains also, the smell is the main quality of earth.
Okay.
And which animal is the closest to the earth in that sense? Is a pig or a boar, which lives in the earth, eating that muck of the earth, and is the closest to the earth.
Oh, okay.
And so that avatar Bhagavan takes and lifts the earth out, meaning that avatar is actually called as Yajna avatar, which destroys the adharmic aspect, the asura who was Hiranyaksha,
Okay. Yes.
who is steeped. Hiranya is gold. When a person is steeped in absolute materialism, for whom pleasure and money is everything in life, no morals, no values, nothing, then that, and if the majority is living like that, then the evolution of people is gone down.
Right.
Now to uplift the people, to remind them, Arey, you are divine, to destroy that materialistic outlook, corrupt outlook, now Bhagavan takes that particular form. So like that, there are different symbolisms. So this Varaha avatar happens, then Narad Rishi is one avatar. Then we have Nara and Narayan, who are, even today they say Badrinath mein they are doing tapasya. And the same Nara and Narayan Rishis, they manifested as Krishna and Arjun in the Dwapar Yuga. Now they are talking about, Puranas are talking about different time periods. They are talking about different realms of consciousness and different symbolisms. That's why a teacher is required.
Yeah.
That's why traditional knowledge has to be understood from traditional teachers who have understood the depth of the scripture and then who are able to explain it well and who can also guide you to do sadhanas. That if you do certain mantras, certain practices, live in a certain self-control, you will experience that avatar also. You will have the visions and you will understand, oh, this is what it is. So we have to lift ourselves, and avatar happens for that. So that way these avatars go on. So like I said, Narad Ji is a bhakti. He is there to establish bhakti everywhere. Sanat Kumars are there to give jnana. And Nar Narayan Rishi are to show tapasya, that human beings should do tapasya. Don't waste your life. Live in austerity, live in penance, turn within, and you will realize infinite truth. And this chance doesn't come so easily. A human life is not so easy to get. Now, these are so many beautiful things. Will it not make me manifest my potential?
Right.
If I believe this, and I start following sadhana, what harm is it going to do to me? It is not going to take me away from life. To achieve anything, you need to do austerity or not. Yesterday, India won the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
They have to live in discipline or not, the team players, and they have to practice every day, and they are away from their family, and they have to do so many things they have to follow. Diet and exercise routine, and I mean, it is hard work.
Yeah.
Can anybody achieve any greatness just
By sitting.
being only comfortable?
The one sportsman had said ki every hard work or whatever they are doing it is that everyone cannot do. That is the reason we are doing that, because if everyone starts doing that, then we all will be the same.
Exactly. Now imagine, for worldly achievement, we need so much discipline.
Yeah.
I want to realize the cause of the entire universe, the spiritual discipline. How much more tapasya is required?
Yes.
So these are avatars where Bhagwan sets examples. We have to understand that. What is the point, you honestly tell me, if a youngster wants to know, अब रामायण हुआ था कि नहीं हुआ था, आपको फर्क क्या पड़ता है अगर रामायण हिस्टोरिकल है कि नहीं है? If you follow the ideals of Ram ji, your life will be uplifted or not.
Uplifted.
That's all is required.
People are not
Why are you
looking
getting into the debate of historicity? And honestly, if you think about it, historically, many things have happened. How many wars have happened? How many kings have come and destroyed so many things? Have we learned from history? Many things we have not. And history repeats or not. So it is about how much I derive from the learnings and experiences and I improve myself. And so avatars are meant for that. And we have to look at avatars in that sense. And so if I open my books and I read that way, ki what all different types of avatars are there? You know, Rishabh Dev ji, his son is Bharat. And our country is named Bharat behind this great avatar of Bhagwan.
Okay.
Rishabh Dev ji's 100 sons, first son is Bharat.
Okay.
And the country is named Bharat behind him. And if you read the life of Bharat Raja, in this, in Bhagavatam, in this 5th canto, it will come. What a beautiful, glorious life he has lived.
Okay.
He achieved great things for the country, had family, had children, was very devoted to Bhagavan and all that, and finally renounced everything to realize the absolute. So he set the ideal of both prosperity and peace. That you attain prosperity, and ultimate life goal is not wealth, it is not power, it is not position, it is not fame. It is absolute peace. And you go in search of that. And when you go in search of that, he renounced everything. Chakravarti Raja left his family, left kingdom, everything he left.
Okay.
Went into the forest and see the play of the mind. He got attached to a fawn. A deer, a young one of a deer.
Okay.
And so much attached he got that he died thinking about the fawn. The fawn left after some time and went, and he was in pangs of separation. He died thinking of the fawn.
Okay.
And the Bhagavatam says in the next Janma he became a fawn.
Okay.
But because of his earlier sadhana, he understood, oh, this is the power of attachment. I should be alert now. When he dropped the body of a fawn, he became a spiritual seeker, and whom we call as Jada Bharat. And in that life, he was absolutely clear, there's nothing more I need to be attached to. One truth alone is there to be sought. Now, over 3 lives of Bharat Raja, Bhagavatam has taught us what is the goal of life, how to attain it, how to beware of attachments, and why this goal is so supreme. Now, if a young person understands this big picture, that what is the goal of life? That clarity one doesn't have. Small things today, are we not seeing young people committing suicide, going into drugs, into depression, into restlessness, and into violence, and what all is happening? Why? Because attachment. Now, if I read Bhagavatam, I understand what is the power of detachment. Why it is required in my life. These are not simply only stories. These are certain things which are historical. If you see the Vamshanucharita, you will see right from Brahmaji onwards up to Bhagwan Ram, his lineage, Love Kush, another few generations of Love Kush. Are they not historically documented? There are places, same way Krishna Bhagwan, Chandra Vamsha is there. Yadavas are there, not there even today. They are there.
Yeah.
So certain things are historical, certain things are mystical. So we have to understand. So I would suggest if anybody wants to know more, go through this Bhagavatam. 24 avatars are beautifully listed there. And Bhagavatam elaborates the life of many of them. Like Kapil Muni is one avatar. He is a sage who gave the Samkhya philosophy.
Okay.
Samkhya philosophy is that which speaks about Prakriti and Purusha. Today, so many people, young people say, I don't believe in God, I believe in nature. This nature is Prakriti and the consciousness is Purusha. And Prakriti, Purusha coming together, only Srishti can happen.
Yeah, right.
All that is there in Sankhya philosophy.
Okay. So great. So I think to get into all the avatars and to understand about every avatar, we need to have one more podcast for this. Yes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand when you said the Patal Lok and all the things which is going inside. So you really feel today the earth and the human which we are living and we are going below that, right?
In some ways, there is a